Peace, 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 love, light, and healing. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in, climb on in. It says something could not go live. What was it? Okay. Do you see me on Facebook? Let's check them. Let's check them. Let's check them. Check me on Facebook and also check me on YouTube. Peace, peace. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all see me? Blessings, blessings. Y'all climb on in, climb on in. Let me know if I'm lagging or not too. My internet is kind of like tripping today. So if you can hear me and if you can see me, type in some nines. If I sound good, if the visual's good, let me know. Peace, 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 love, light, and healing. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods, peace to the earth. Y'all climb on in. Y'all see what we talking about today? We talking about celery. We talking about lemons. We're talking about cyanide. We talking about benzene formaldehyde. We talking about just a bunch of stuff, amygdalins. We talking about a bunch of things. It's a bunch of haters out here. Of course, y'all know everybody hate on Yahki, especially the other so-called healers. They always got something to say about me, or they use my name to get clout. And, you know, it's been a lot of misinformation being spilled out here. So, you know, a lot of people was coming to me. A lot of people was sending me a video of this guy that I never seen before in my life. I finally went through his channel and page today, and I'm very, very, very disappointed at all the misinformation that he's teaching our people. But, you know, we could talk about that on a later date. But specifically my juice diet, I have something called the geogenetic therapeutic juice. And I've been using this juice for what, the last 10 years, Nabi? For probably around the last 10 years. Literally hundreds of thousands of people been on this juice. I created the concoction myself. And back when I had a heart attack in 2009, in my kidneys and my liver was messed up. I had fatty liver disease. I had high blood pressure. The medicine from the high blood pressure that I was taking gave me erectile dysfunction. I was diabetic. I had toenail fungus, fingernail fungus. I had light patches on my skin. I mean, I was pretty messed up, y'all. I was. And I'm 5'6" and I weighed 260 pounds. Well, anyways, you know, I had gotten to the truth about eating. I had gotten to the truth about natural herbs and natural remedies, and I end up signing up for an herbology class and end up getting into some biochemistry courses and learning biochemist. I'm actually a certified biochemist, and through learning these things, I ended up coming together with these 7 different fruits and vegetables, and I concocted them together, and I used that actual juice recipe. I picked the 7 best fruits in the world that I know that thrives very, very good in the United States, and I put it together and I drank that for 120 days. Like I tell everybody when I tell this story, out of those 120 days, of course I missed some days and I did mess up, but you know, in that 120 days, plus taking the herbal remedies that I have made for myself, which is now, because at first we had called it the amino acid therapeutic package, but a doctor from LA, Woodland, LA, matter of fact, tried to sue me, so I had to change it. I ended up changing it to geogenetic therapeutic therapy, and now that's what I've been using. So the same herbs and the same diet and the same juice diet that I put myself on to heal myself from the scar tissue on my heart, to strengthen my cardiovascular system, to strengthen my myocardium ventricles of my heart, to get rid of my blood pressure, to flush out my kidneys and rebuild the nephrons of my kidneys, to heal me of diabetes and hypertension, all that hydrostatic pressure that I had going on, and even toenail and fingernail fungus. I literally used that juice and I used those herbs. So, you know, I did probably like I did a consultation, an online consultation, I believe like 2-3 months ago, and I gave out the juice. And, you know, everybody took the juice and ran with it. It blew up and it went crazy. It went viral. I mean, it's one view. It's one video on TikTok that had 5.5 million views about the juice. So it just blew up everywhere. And I guess, you know, another so-called melanated being, he's seen it as an opportunity to take the video and make up some lies and misinformation and turn information into a weapon to the people. You know, misinformation is worse than a loaded gun. That's the title. And, you know, completely lied and then brought up some bullshit articles that we going to go through. We going to watch this whole video, y'all. We going to pick it apart. And y'all going to see the video. Y'all know who it is. Once y'all see this, if he do not respond or is not willing to go live with me since he put my video on here, y'all should unfollow that cat. And be careful with his information because it is totally off. Me and my manager, we went through about 7 or 8 of his videos, and then I went through another 5 of them when I was here. It is total garbage. He's going around and just taking other people's information and he's putting it together. And then he put a twist on it to make it seem like it's new or it's different. But the only thing is the twist that he putting on it is misinformation because it's not true. So y'all be careful. Over 50 to 60 clients of mine sent me this video. Am I lying, IB? Over 50 to 60 clients of mine. Now, okay, I got hundreds of thousands of clients, but 50 or 60 is a lot. I'm tired of telling y'all to stop listening to misinformation and to study to show yourself approved. Don't listen to nothing I'm saying. Don't listen to nothing a white man saying, a black man saying, a blue man saying, a purple man saying. You hear them out. You take the information, you do your own comparative studies on the information, you use your intellect, your spirituality, your spiritual discernment, you see that? And you use common sense and comparative studies, then you draw your own conclusion. Otherwise, we're going to keep getting people with these back and forths, and then somebody new can just pop up on the scene and say anything that they want to say, and then all of a sudden, they're right, and then the information that you've been believing and that you have been benefiting off of and healing off of, you start to question that. Oh, ye people of little faith, y'all have to have more faith. Y'all have to have more common sense and more intelligence when it comes to y'all body. This is your body. I'm not living in your body. That's your diet. That's your food that you put. You should know everything about it. You see that? Question everything. So if y'all ready to get this started, y'all typing some 9s, and we're going to pull this video up and we're going to run through it, y'all. And look, I'm trying my hardest to stop cussing, but y'all, this video is total bullshit, full of lies. He did it to, I guess, sell his book at the end. I think that was the motive. And, you know, since I'm one of the biggest in the space right now, and I'm not saying the biggest, but since I'm one of these biggest in the healing space right now, because I have earned that and put in all of the work that I have put in, me and a couple of others, I guess he found it and he said it'd be good to take a shot at Yahki. But no one have ever took a shot at me and won, because I will never, ever, ever, ever in my life teach people misinformation. Before I teach it to you, I got it memorized. I'm not sitting here reading from no notepad like you gonna see he doing. I don't do none of that. All this is here. All this is here. This is memory. This is intellect. This is clinical trials. And I'm not bragging, but I earn those rights to say that. You know what I'm saying? I really did go to school for biochemistry. Like, I really did learn that. I really am a master herbalist. I really do got certificates. I just got my doctorates. I just got my PhD and my professorship. Like, I really am traveling to hundreds of colleges yearly and teaching in auditoriums. Most of y'all on here have been at one of my conventions or been at one of my seminars or lectures in the HBCU college setting. Like, I really do this in real life. I am literally in my clinic right now that have 4 clinical rooms with clinic beds and iridology cameras and office and all of that. I got spaces, y'all. Like, this is real. I am really doing this in real life. I'm not just behind a computer, you know, talking and going on Google and Googling things. Like, we spend literally hundreds of thousands of months on herbs and pay rent and have buildings and have clinics and see clients. We do this. We have file cabinets with locks on them that's full of all of y'all important personal information, for I can backtrack and go and look into the log to see how your healing is progressing throughout your stage and your journey of your healing process. This is real life stuff for me. So I'm not sitting on here trying to be big. This is my job. I'm not on here trying to be famous. I'm not on here trying to do none of that. This is my livelihood. This is my job. I see y'all got some 9s up, so let's talk it. And yes, I feel like I can talk heavy because I earned it. Y'all know how long I've been doing this? Like, y'all realize I got recognized. I actually got recognized by a college. I got recognized by the presidency office. And me, y'all know I'm radical, y'all. They recognize my work and all the years I put in. Now, come tell them how much stuff we had to do to even get this doctorate, to even get the PhD and get the professorship. Like, really holler at them. What did we have to do? You got to talk to the mic.
Peace, family. Basically what I did, and Yahki didn't really know exactly all of everything I was doing, but a particular group of a board of directors reached out to me, and they said that since Yahki has done so much work in the community, we'd like to honor him. Can you please, do you have access to his information? To make a long story short, I had to send all of his certificates, all of his studies, all of his some testimonies, and we put together a nice portfolio. It took me like 3 weeks, and I put everything together, and I sent it over. It took them about 2 or 3 more weeks, and they came back and they said, can we meet with him? And we did an interview. So we did an interview over the phone, and next thing we know, the board made a unanimous decision, and that's rare too, because there's doctors on this board, there's other health science majors on this board, there's other PhDs on this board, and every one of them said for his community work, they gave him 9 years credit for schooling. They gave him 15 years for lifetime achievement. They wrote a letter to the White House, and they said if he passes through the White House, then we're going to let him go through. So, dog, I said, why y'all call me and get me all hyped up, and now I got to go through the White House? I know them folks ain't finna, So, boom, it came back. Joe Biden's signature on it. For whatever that's worth, his signature's on it. Yahki has a presidential a Lifetime Achievement Award, and then the college went on and gave him his PhD. And what makes this so special, a lot of people get these type of degrees put together, but what makes this so special is Yahki teaches a class at this university. Y'all heard it right. He's going to be teaching. So you guys are going to be able to come and enroll. This is like first time we're announcing this. I mean, soon. And then
we got a whole school now. Y'all.
Yeah, and more than one location. So we have that, and he has a professorship. And after 18 months of residency, he can go to any college that will accept him as an individual, not because of his credentials. His credentials are already accepted nationwide, worldwide. But, some colleges have cliques. But if they will accept him in, and we've already heard from Howard, we've already heard from other major institutes that Yahki Awaken is welcome to come and teach at our facility. So congratulations to the God. All praise.
And what's crazy is how many colleges we done been to already doing a professorship, teaching about anatomy, botany, physiology, autonomy, biochemistry. Like, we really do the work, y'all. Like, we really do. So, and I'm just saying all that to say, and y'all, guess what came in today? Now, I be showing my package. I want to show y'all what came in today, y'all. And then we're going to get this started. I'm just excited right now, though. Let me show y'all what came in today, though. Let's see what we got here. And the graduation is going to be in L.A. on April 19th and 20th. So I want y'all to come out, y'all. Y'all can come out and holler at me for free. And then we having a lecture right after that. Look, the gown and captain came in, everything. I got to get it tailor-made, of course. You know what I'm saying? So, and this is what I'm saying. You don't have to be up under nobody tutelage. You ain't got to be going around acting crazy and skipping to everybody else beat to get recognized and to actually get doctrines and to get credentials, y'all. I got credentials based off of all the work that I've always did. You know what I'm saying? It got recognized on a state and federal level. That's how much work I put in. And we had to send in, I'm talking about a bunch of healing testimonies. We had to send in my biochemistry certification. We had to send in my master herbalist certification. We had to send in all of our certifications, all the work. We had to send a lot of stuff, and it took them a long time to approve it. But once it got past the White House and it was signed by Joe Biden, they just gave it to me. So, Dr. Yahki Raphael Elohim, PhD. I guess. That's crazy. I have to talk so much smack about that, man. And then end up getting one anyway. But it is what it is, though. So April the 19th and 20th, meet me in Los Angeles. We're gonna get a flyer up. We're gonna get it's gonna be a big auditorium. I already got a lot of people coming. I want y'all to show up for that. I'm doing a big speech there. After that, we doing our premiere for our documentary. I want y'all to see that. And then right after that, I'm doing one of the biggest lectures I've ever done before. So, like we've been doing, coming to a college near you. That's what I do. That's what I've been doing. So yeah, all praises, y'all. All praises. Yeah, no, we actually got the doctors, y'all. I got all of that. Here go the President's Lifetime Achievement Award right here. Like, this stuff is real. I'm not playing. But we're going to post all this. It's going to be real big. We're going to post it up, make a big old thing about it. We're going to party. We're going to kick it and celebrate and all of that. You know, it do feel good to get recognized. And then the beautiful thing about this, it's a predominantly melanated, school that even noticed me. It's amazing. So, all praises to the Most High. But look, let's get this started, y'all. They on here talking about some that's not cool. You a hater. You are a hater. You can get your ass off my page talking about that's not cool. That is amazing. A brother getting recognized for work when he never looked to got recognized. That's amazing. That's powerful. That's powerful. And it give me way more credibility when I'm teaching at the HBCUs and the college teaching the black children. That's powerful. That's powerful. But anyway, so let's go ahead and get into it. Make sure that y'all got y'all pens. Make sure that y'all got y'all pads. Let's get it going. Type in some 7s. I'm going to bring the video up. We're going to actually play the video. The book is almost done, y'all. The book is done. I've been doing the book and the courses at the same time. The courses will be out before the book, y'all. So I know y'all been waiting on it. All of that is dropping before the summer. I promise y'all. We at the tail end of all of that. That's why I haven't been going live. That's why I haven't, we got thousands of consultations. I'm knee deep in a lot of work, y'all. So hey, I'm trying my hardest, y'all. There's only one me. I got a big old team. Shouts out to my team that's keeping the clinic running, that's keeping the building running. But, all the knowledge is coming from me, and that's why I'm trying to teach y'all to be more healers, y'all. That way I ain't got to do this by myself. All right, let's pull it up.
2 ingredients you should never mix in any juice and recipe.
You're going to do 1 stalk of celery and a whole lemon with the skin.
Real quick, let me know if you can hear it once I put it in. I'm going to put it in. Just let me know if it play. Could y'all hear that, y'all? If y'all can hear that, let me know. If y'all heard that, let me know. I could turn it up a little bit too. I just want to make sure that y'all can hear it before we go in. Of course, I'm going to be careful, y'all. The Most High got me. If y'all can hear this dude, this cat, let me know. Turn your phone up now, B. Let me know if you can hear it. All right, I'm pulling him up.
2 ingredients you should never mix in any juice and recipe.
You're going to do 1 stalk of celery and a whole lemon with the skin.
The reason you should not juice celery and citrus is because celery has a compound in it called amygdalin. And when combined with citrus, it converts it into cyanide. Check this out. Foods that...
So y'all can't hear him? They said not really. Hold on. Can you hear it? All right, they said they can hear it. All right, so let's go through this and pick this apart. I'm gonna show you what people do. This dude went on here and completely lied to y'all. His video got like 2.2 million views. He just completely lied to y'all. He screenshotted an article, didn't read the whole article to y'all. Then in y'all faces, in the screenshot, it shows you how to read the article, and he deliberately read it the wrong way. And he tried to throw me under the bus while doing it the whole time. Mind you, I never met this dude in my life. Don't know this man from a can of paint. I just knew of this dude 2 days ago, and that's the reason why I even reached out. I tried to holler at him on his Facebook. He didn't hit me back, so then I commented on his Facebook post, and when everybody started hitting me up on his Facebook post, that's when he commented back, and I offered him to go live. I said, we can do a debate live. You know what I'm saying? You present your information, I present my information, and let's do this live. And he declined the live, which showing you that he on bullshit anyway. But let's listen.
2 ingredients you should never mix in any juice and recipe.
You're going to do 1 stalk of celery and a whole lemon with the skin.
The reason you should not juice celery and citrus is because celery has a compound in it called amygdalin. And when combined with citrus, it converts it into cyanide. Check this out. Foods that consist of amygdalin.
So the first thing he said is, y'all, like, I got to break this down. He said that celery has a chemical compound in it called amygdalin. That is a flat out lie. Celery compounds does not have amygdalin in it whatsoever. And in fact, you will not find one article, one scientific scholarly article, nor even a regular Google article that proves or show that celery have amygdalin in it. Now, if you read the article that he posted, which what we're going to read, it did not say that whatsoever. So y'all, this let me know that all of y'all that sent me the video didn't even read the information. Y'all just sent me the video and y'all didn't even do the information or the research y'all selves before y'all sent me the information to even fight for y'all own cause, because it's disrespectful that he tried to convince you of that anyway. That's the ultimate disrespect, to lie to somebody's face like that. So instead of y'all defending yourselves, don't forget me. Don't try to defend Yahki. Try to defend yourself. It's a man sitting up there reading something totally different than what's actually on the paper and having you believing taking a juice to heal your body, that heal my body and thousands of others, is actually going to give you cyanide and poison you. Now so first thing first, and we're going to prove all of this, because I'm going to pull up the very article that he pulled up. All right, so he said that celery attains amygdalin. I'm telling you, no, it don't. Celery does not attain amygdalin. All right.
2 ingredients you should never mix in any juice and recipe.
You're going to do 1 stalk of celery and a whole lemon with the skin.
The reason you should not juice celery and citrus is because celery has a compound in it called amygdalin, and when combined with citrus, it converts it into cyanide. Check this out. Foods that consist of amygdalin: nuts, raw almonds, carrots, apricots, peaches, celery, beans, flax seeds. Stay with me.
Now, before he stay with me, I want to pull up this article that he's talking about, and let's read it. And notice he cropped out amygdalin. He cropped it out. All right, now check this out. This is the article he's talking about, and we're going to read through it slowly. This is the same article. The article that he pulled up and cropped out and didn't show y'all the whole article of is from Medical News Today. From Medical News Today. And the title says medicalnewstoday.com/articles/B17/vitamin. Now, let's see what this is, y'all. It's going to blow your mind. Let me share my screen with you real quick. All right, I'm sharing my screen. Now, this is the actual article that he pulled up, y'all. This is the article right here. Now, let's read it. It says, what to know about vitamin B17. All right, now check this out. Vitamin B17 refers to a drug called laetrile. All right, now check this out. So this is not talking about amygdalin. That's a natural forming compound in plants. This is talking about an actual synthetic vitamin B17 that's referred to as a drug called laetrile, which is an artificial form of amygdalin. Amygdalin is a plant substance present in some nuts, plants, and fruit seeds. All right. Now it says, although people often refer to vitamin B12 as a vitamin, this substance does not have approval by the American Institution of Nutrition Vitamins. In addition, by the Food and Drug Administration does not recognize it as safe. So this is talking about the actual vitamin B12, the laetrile. This is not talking about the natural chemical compound, or what you would call an anti-nutrient protective compound that you would call amygdalin. This is talking about when you take amygdalin, when you take these chemical compounds, and after you take them to a laboratory, and then you actually heat them up into high temperatures, and then you make synthetic amygdalin, and then they change the name because they have to patent it now. So now you can't call it amygdalin, so you have to call it something else. So they call it laetrile. You see that? Or they call it vitamin B17. Not natural amygdalin, because they need to patent it. So what they did was they took apricot seeds. Once they took these apricot seeds, they highly concentrated them. They put them in a water-soluble solution. Then after that, they put ethanol on it, and then they extracted all of the actual amygdalin out of it, and then they heat it to high temperatures. And when you heat this aromatic aromatase to high temperatures, it actually turns into what you would call B17, or it turns into laetrile, which is a synthetic drug. So the very article that he pulled was not talking about amygdalin. It was talking about a synthetic concentrated amygdalin that's now a drug. It's not talking about the amygdalin. Now, let's even go even further. Even if it was talking about the regular natural compound amygdalin, it's not talking about amygdalin as in celery. That doesn't exist. Celery does not have any type of chemical compound called amygdalin. And if he really had read it to y'all, it's going to say that. But luckily, We got the actual article that he screenshotted and didn't show y'all the source to. Be careful with that. You always got to cite your sources unless you hiding some bullshit or unless you're trying to speak misinformation to the people and get over other people, or you just worried about being famous or selling a product. Now, let's go back to it, y'all. Let's read this whole entire article, y'all. And then I want to go through some science, some anatomy, some actual nutrition, some soil agriculture and permaculture botany. We have to start learning seed and soil, because if you knew what an apricot seed was, if you knew what a pit was, if you knew what a kernel was, you would understand the physiology of seeds, and you would say, hold on, well, that couldn't be in that anyway. You know what I'm saying? A celery seed and an apple seed is two totally different seeds. A celery seed and an apricot seed is two totally different seeds. Every seed that have natural amygdalin compounds grow on a tree. The seed he talking about grows a stock. These are two total different physiological seeds that have many different individual compounds. So he couldn't be talking about the same thing. But look, let's do it though, because I don't want to do too much talking. I want to do a lot of reading. All right, so check this out. It says, let's read it again. I'm going to read it through this time. It says vitamin B17 refers to a drug called laetrile, an artificial form of amygdalin. So we know what this article about. It's about an artificial form of amygdalin called vitamin B12, which they later called it laetrile. And they actually use this as an alternative healing of cancer. And I'm going on the record to show that it's a book I'm going to show y'all that actually talks about this and showing how the FDA shut this stuff down because a lot of people was going to get this type of stuff for cancer, and it was turning out that cancer was disappearing. All of a sudden you start seeing these bad articles getting written about these things, and then boom, the FDA banned it, and then all of a sudden you see all these bad news articles come out about how it's all so bad and all of that, when it's only extracted compounds from apricot seeds. That's all it really is. You basically can call that a tincture or herbal extraction, but they banned it. Why did they ban it? Was it messing with the cancer industry pockets? You got to ask yourself that. Notice they make it clear as day. It says, although people often refer to B12 as a vitamin, the substance does not have the approval of by the American Institute of Nutrition and Vitamins. In addition, the Food and Drug Administration does not recognize it as safe. Some people may take laetrile to treat cancer. However, many experts consider this compound controversial, as no research, which I have a ton of research, I'm going to show you a book on this, which no research, and I got the book with me, which no research supports it as a effective treatment, and instead links it to potentially severe side effects. Most notably, taking B12-17 can cause the body to produce cyanide. So did it say taking amygdalin? No, it didn't. It said taking what? B17, B12, B17. Laetrile. It never said nothing about amygdalin in its natural form. It's talking about the actual drug, the synthetic drug that they make from amygdalin. And it's right here, y'all. It says B17 can cause the body to produce cyanide, a poison and dangerous chemical. In this article, check this out. In this article, we will discuss vitamin B17, including the possible benefits, side effects, which foods and sources of this compound. Then it talks about the actual definition of vitamin B17, and then it gets into the definition. Now, check this out, y'all. I want to go down to where he showed y'all. He skipped all of this, but y'all can read this on your own. But it just shows you when they did the actual lawsuit against him and laetrile in 1977. His name is Dr. Ernest T. Cribbs. It's a book that's very deep that I want you to read. I'm going to show y'all the book in a minute, but just go to medicalnewstoday.com/article/B17, that's spacebar vitamin, and you will get this whole entire article, right? Now, what he went down and showed y'all was this right here. Hold on, y'all, because he went down to the food source, right? Now, check this out, y'all. I'm going to start right here at B17 and cancer. It says people have used vitamin B17 as a cancer treatment since the 1800s, either alone or as part of a program of treatments, right? It says, however, clinical trials on animals and humans have found no evidence that laetrile is an effective cancer treatment. It says evidence suggests it is effective is largely anecdotal, or originates from unsupported opinions. Some test tube studies suggest that laetrile may reduce the occurrence of tumors by affecting the genes that help them spread. However, there is no evidence that vitamin B17, notice it's not talking about amygdalin, it's talking about the medicine, would have the same effect in a living human body. Studies in humans are rare, as not only is vitamin B17 unlikely to be effective, it can cause serious side effects and even form cyanide poisoning. Notice it's not talking about amygdalin. And again, amygdalin is not inside of celery. Now, here is what he pulled up for y'all. All right. I want y'all to see this. Do y'all see this? I need everybody to see this because this is what he pulled up. Type in some nines if y'all see this article because this is actually what he pulled up. Once y'all type in y'all nines, we're going to read what he read. We're going to read what he read. Type in some nines. Let's read what he read. Let me show y'all how he did y'all. Once I see some nines, we'll read it. And then we're going to get to some business and answer some questions. All right. Yahki charged too much. He's not helping the people. Go buy from another herbalist that's cheaper. Simple and plain. I'm not finna go out there and spend all my hard-earned money for herbs out of the country, running a building, running clinics, and doing all this stuff, and then think you finna get herbs in a whole herbal compound for $2. So what you can do is you can take your cheap mindset to another herbalist and buy some herbs from them. Ain't no shame in my game. It ain't gonna hurt me at all. I'm trying to teach other people to be herbalists. I actually don't like selling herbs. I'm trying to get away from it, to be honest with you. So, hey, take it somewhere else, player. No sweat off my back whatsoever. All right, food sources. It says amygdalin. Now, remember what amygdalin is. Amygdalin is talking about the drug form. That's what we're talking about. The reference to the drug form, not the natural compound. Amygdalin, the compound that vitamin B derives from. Notice that vitamin B17 derives from. So we're talking about the medicine that's actually created from the natural compound amygdalin. Derives from, can come from a variety of foods. All right. Now it's telling you the variety of foods that amygdalin come from that you can actually do the ethanol extraction from to make vitamin B17. Right. That's what it's talking about. And then you can click on this and it'll give you the foods. But it says including raw nuts, such as bitter almonds. That's what give almonds its bitter taste. It's something called benzene formaldehyde and amygdalin. And these are actually natural anti-nutrient compounds that protect the plants from people trying to eat them because seeds don't want to be eaten because seeds reproduce food. That's why we're not supposed to be eating seeds. So most of the seeds you eat and most of the plants you eat have anti-nutrient compounds like lectins in them, like natural herbicides and the pesticides, like phytic acids in them, all these different acids, saponins in them, tannins. These are the plant's natural defense mechanism for you won't eat the plant because the plant needs to regrow the fruit because the fruit is meat unto you, or you need to save the seed for you can replant the seed and the seed can grow the plant or the tree, and then the plant or the tree can grow the fruit for you to eat or for it to be meat unto you. You see that? So plants always had this. We just talked about this probably a month ago. It says it can also come from pits of fruits. These are seeds of fruits. Have you ever seen a pit or an apple seed? That's what you would call a pit. And that's why they say if you eat too many apple seeds, you can get sick. No one have ever died from eating too many apple seeds. Somebody have went on a crazy detoxification though from eating too many apple seeds. Same thing when you get to papaya seeds. No one have ever died from eating too many papaya seeds, but you can go through a crazy detoxification though. So we acting like cyanide in low forms is harming the body. No, it's not. It's just like any other what you would call cytotoxin in the body. It forces the body to respond in a very specific way to bring on detoxification. It says such as apricot kernels. Additionally, now look, check this out. Let me read this. It says amygdalin is a compound that vitamin B17 derives from. Can come from a variety of foods, including raw nuts, such as bitter almonds. It can also come from the pits of fruits, such as apricots. Now we're talking about where amygdalin come from. Then it says additionally, comma. This is a whole new thought. Additionally, comma. So we done talking about amygdalin. Additionally, comma, foods containing beta, look, foods containing beta glucuronidase, which is an enzyme. Beta glucuronidase is an enzyme, right? Or vitamin C may increase the conversion of amygdalin to cyanide. So now it's talking about what's actually inside of celery. So it never said that celery had amygdalin in it. It says, additionally, foods containing beta glucuronidase or vitamin C may increase the conversion of amygdalin to cyanide. Now, remember, this amygdalin is not talking about the natural occurring amygdalin in actual plants and in actual seeds and kernels. It is talking about B17 Leotril. That's the amygdalin it's talking about. And it says, therefore, if a person is taking, look, there it go. If a person is taking Leotril or Latril tablets, they should avoid consuming the following foods. So now we finna see what foods have the beta glucuronidase in it. Nuts, crushed fruit pits, raw almonds, carrots, apricot, peaches, celery, beans, bean sprouts, and flax seeds. It never, ever, ever said that celery had amygdalin. And if it did, so what? Let's talk about it. I got a whole book that talk about this. This is misinformation at its finest. Then he goes to say that eating these foods actually increases or convert it over. So then we're going to go back to the video, and he said, well, vitamin C actually increases the conversion of amygdalin to cyanide. Yes, it does. If you take the actual Leotril, the Leotril does, but it ain't talking about eating no celery, because celery doesn't have amygdalin in it. It has beta glucuronidase in it. That's what it has. It don't have no amygdalin in it, y'all. It says, therefore, if a person is taking Leotril tablets, they should avoid consuming the following foods. Now we see what the following foods they should avoid. They have this beta glucuronidase in it, and that's nuts, crushed fruits and pits, raw almonds, carrots, apricots, peaches, celery, beans, and bean sprouts, and flax seeds. Do we need to read that again, y'all? Do anybody get that? Do we need to read that? That's something that says something totally different. Did y'all get that? Do we need to reread it again slowly? And then what's crazy is if you start looking at, like, this is a cherry tree. Notice that the actual amygdalin is from the actual pits of cherries. It grows on a tree. That's a cherry tree. This is an almond tree. These things grow high. Notice that the amygdalin, the natural compound amygdalin, grows on a tree in almonds and cherries. These are still trees, y'all. Notice this is an apricot tree. Notice that the amygdalin, the natural compound, where they get the synthetic B17 from that they call Leotril or Latril, grows on the tree. All right? Let's keep going. This is an actual, This is the actual plum tree. This plum tree have natural compounds called amygdalins. Notice that. Notice it grows on a tree. Let's keep going. We can keep going, y'all. This is a peach tree. Notice this peach tree have natural amygdalins in it, right? Notice these are all trees. And all the seeds are the same. This is an apple tree. Notice the apple tree have natural amygdalin. So we're talking about trees here. Trees. A celery grow from a seed and grow a stalk out of the ground. It don't grow high into the sky and produce a fruit. So we even talking about two different physiological species of plants in the plant kingdom. These are not the same thing, right? Then you start looking at the seeds. When you start getting into the seeds and looking at the seeds, these are pits and kernels. When you actually look at a celery, because celery do have seeds, I will show you, they're not pitted seeds or they're not kernel seeds. They grow completely different. They need different type of sunlight and shade and everything. So it's not going to have the same chemical compounds or natural herbicides and pesticides. He lied to y'all flat out when he said that celery had amygdalins in it. No, it don't. It don't have amygdalins in it whatsoever. What celery have is the actual beta glucuronidase. That's all they have, which is an enzyme and a protein. Here it go again. Now, these are almonds and apricot seeds. Notice they look just alike. You can't even really tell the difference from an almond and apricot seeds if you pretty good ways away from it, because they similar and they look alike, y'all. Y'all get that? Now, he was talking about all of these different things, so let's pull them up. Let's pull it up. All right, so amygdalin. Amygdalin is an ancient Greek word that comes from almond. It is a naturally, look y'all, it is a naturally occurring chemical compound found in many plants. This is on Wikipedia, y'all. Y'all can look this up. Most notably in the seeds, kernels of apricots, bitter almonds, apples, peaches, cherries, and plums, and in the roots of, and then they start talking about cassava roots. Y'all can look this up, y'all. Just go put in a amygdalin in Wikipedia. This same thing will pull up. Guess what? It never, ever, ever mentioned celery. You know why? Because celery don't have amygdalins. So if celery don't have amygdalins, and celery actually have that glucosidase that I was talking about, that means when you're on Leotrel, when you're on this synthetic medicine that they made from extracting amygdalin from the kernel seeds that I was talking about, and then they make it into a drug, and then they give you 1,500 milligrams of that drug. It says while you're on that, it's best you don't eat celery, because celery have a compound in it that's going to make you detox and put the actual synthetic amygdalin into the bloodstream that's going to cause you to force yourself in having a detoxification. And if you add any type of citric acid to it, or what you would call vitamin C, then it will convert itself into cyanide. So it never said that amygdalin would convert itself into cyanide. It's talking about the synthetic compound in high dosage. And we'll get into that as well, y'all. And then you keep going. Now, what comes with amygdalin is benzahide. And benzahide is another one. Benzahide is another one that's just a aromatic aromatase. And this is actually what cancels out amygdalin if you look it up. So usually when you find things like this in your actual forest or outside, usually your amygdalin, hold on, continue, yes. Usually your amygdalin will come with benzahide, right? And they cancel each other out. Now I want to show y'all something, y'all, because it's crazy. So I'm going to play this video one more time, and then I want to show y'all another video. Let me take this. You talking about dude talking about my hat is too tight? No, he's talking about the guy hat is too tight. Oh, his hat too tight, yeah.
2 ingredients you should never mix in any juicing recipe.
You're going to do 1 stalk of celery and a whole lemon with the skin.
The reason you should not juice celery and citrus is because celery has a compound in it called amygdalin, and when combined with citrus, it converts it into cyanide. Check this out. Foods that consist of amygdalin: nuts, raw almonds, carrots, apricots, peaches, celery, beans, flax seeds. Stay with me. As you see below, what increases the conversion of amygdalin to cyanide? Vitamin C, citrus. So what does cyanide do to the cells? Suffocate and deprive the cells of using oxygen. And what's the #1 cause of cancer? Suffocation of cells. The only way these 2 ingredients are safe for consumption is if you cook it or make it in a meal. But when you juice the celery with the lime, that's like soaking it, and then that's when the acid in the citrus breaks down the amygdalin and convert it into cyanide. Information must be updated, family. Like this video, share them out.
Is if y'all look at his logo, it look just like my Yahki awakened tree. If y'all look at the herbs he's selling in the background, it looks exactly like my herbs with the black labels with the red writings on them and with the red tree, then with his herbal name. He done copied everything. He done copied everything I do, y'all. So y'all, just be careful out here, y'all. Seriously. Now look, check this out. So yesterday I got this post. You know what I'm saying? Thanks to Latasha for sending me this. And look, she sent me this, and this dude mentioned a book that I done had and read through for a long time. But notice how interesting in what he say. All right, check this out.
God said, I want you to eat the herbs, the fruit, and the seeds. Genesis 1:29. When you eat the fruit, you should eat the seed. When you eat a peach, eat the seed. Well, crack it open with a hammer. The seed is inside the hull, okay? You should eat the seed. Now be sure to get organically grown seeds, not the ones raised on steroids and pesticides. But the seeds contain a bitter substance called cyanide that'll give you a pucker that'll last about an hour and a half. But these seeds contain a vitamin called vitamin B17, which is half cyanide. They say, oh, that's poison. Oh, it's not either. So the cyanide found in the seeds is mixed with benzaldehyde. Both are poison.
I want y'all to hear it. So benzaldehyde is mixed with the cyanide or the amygdalin in the seed, right? And the same book he finna show y'all I done had this book for 10 years. 10 years. That's how I helped come up with my geogenetic juice. But let's just play it. Listen to him though.
God said, I want you to eat the herbs, the fruit, and the seeds. Genesis 1:29. When you eat the fruit, you should eat the seed. When you eat a peach, eat the seed. Well, crack it open with a hammer. The seed is inside the hull, okay? You should eat the seed. Now be sure to get organically grown seeds, not the ones raised on steroids and pesticides. But the seeds contain a bitter substance called cyanide that'll give you a pucker that'll last about an hour and a half. But these seeds contain a vitamin called vitamin B17, which is half cyanide. They say, oh, that's poison. Oh, it's not either. So the cyanide found in the seeds is mixed with benzaldehyde. Both are poison, but together they're harmless until they bump into a cancer cell. There's a book about this topic called World Without Cancer. There's a tribe of folks in northern Pakistan called the Hunza. The Hunza people never get cancer. The Hunza people's favorite food to eat is apricot seeds. Hunzas eat these apricot seeds like we eat peanuts.
What? So we have somebody eating natural amygdalin and they get healed of their cancer? Man, this is the book, y'all, right here. This is called A World Without Cancer. Check this book out. Check this book out. This book is powerful. And if y'all can see this book, I've been through this deal, y'all. I've been through it, man. I done had this book for a very, very long time. It's the same book that he had in the video. And this book tells y'all about amygdalin. The book tells y'all, look, it's a part in here that even talks about Leotrail, right? So look at this one. This one is called The Cyanide Scare. The Cyanide Scare, on how they made cyanide just seem so bad. It's another one in here called, where is it at? I'm talking about, man, it talks about the Rockefeller Group, how they put out the campaign to ban these things from the United States. I'm talking about how they basically championed the campaign to make it seem like amygdalin was just so bad when it was actually just detoxing the body. I mean, and this is not my words, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. This is the words of Dr. G. Edward Griffin, and I got 3 more other books that talk about the same thing that I've been reading for over a decade. This ain't new to me. I've been doing this. Now check this out. When you get the book, I want y'all to read this right here, man. It's deep. Where is it at? So the chapter, The Cyanide Scare, is very, very deep. But it's another one that talks about Leotrail. Where is it? And I'm talking about, look, they show y'all the Hansa people. He got articles in here showing how amygdalin is actually healing people, not killing people, not creating cyanide. Now, stay with me now. That's what he said. Stay with me now. Look, proven cancer cures. I mean, this book got a lot of information in it. And what I like about the book is it is backed up by reviews and articles. And guess what he do? He did what old boy didn't do. He cite all of his research at the bottom of his book, the same way I did in my new book called Healing the Illusion We Call Disease. He cited all of his research. You can actually go find the papers back in 1870 right now online. I pulled them all up. So, yeah, make sure y'all got this book. Now, let's just go back and listen to this one time, and then we're going to be done with the situation. I'll answer any questions y'all got.
God said, I want you to eat the herbs, the fruit, and the seeds. Genesis 1:29. When you eat the fruit, you should eat the seed. When you eat a peach, eat the seed. Well, crack it open with a hammer. The seed is inside the hull, okay? You should eat the seed. Now, be sure to get organically grown seeds, not the ones raised on steroids and pesticides. But the seeds contain a bitter substance called cyanide that'll give you a pucker that'll last about an hour and a half. But these seeds contain a vitamin called vitamin B17, which is half cyanide. They say, oh, that's poison. Oh, it's not either. So the cyanide found in the seeds is mixed with benzaldehyde. Both are poison, but together they're harmless until they bump into a cancer cell. There's a book about this topic called World Without Cancer. There's a tribe of folks in northern Pakistan called the Hunza. The Hunza people never get cancer. The Hunza people's favorite food to eat is apricot seeds. Hunzas eat these apricot seeds like we eat peanuts. They just love them, and they never get cancer. Jason Vale teaches you should eat apricot seeds to cure cancer, and he said cancer cannot survive in a body of a person that consumes apricot seeds. Jason Vale simply recommended that people eat apricot seeds, and they arrested him and put him in jail because the FDA wants people to take drugs to get well, not seeds to get.
So when you back to what he said, the first point he was making, that celery had amygdalin in it. That was a lie. We did not read that in that article. In fact, it showed you what celery had, and it was talking about the glucuronidase. That's what actually celery has in it, the beta-glucuronidase. It doesn't have amygdalin in it. And then it was saying that if you are on synthetic amygdalin, which is Laetrile, or what you would call vitamin B17 in high dosage, it said that you should slow down on celeries and nuts because it do have the beta-glucuronidase in it. And if you mix that with citric, it can actually take the medicine that you was taking and break it down because it has ascorbic acid in it, or what you call vitamin C, and it will actually break it down and turn it into cyanide. For the cyanide can basically bring on a purging effect of the body, and you detoxify, or what they will call cyanide poisoning. It was never saying that celery had amygdalin in it. That was a big old lie. And I don't know if he just don't know how to read, or if he don't study correctly or do comparative studies, because there's not one article in the world that says celery have amygdalin. Matter of fact, when you Google it, I spend over $2,000 annually just to have access to the doctor's database in the science research database. I got codes I can look in the database to bring up every scientific and scholarly article that's not available to the public, or they make it available to you, but you just got to buy the articles for $249. Some be for $500. I went through all the articles. Haven't I not be within the last, there is not one article in existence that says that celery have amygdalin in it. What it does is Google have a SEO search. So if you Google celery and a amygdalin, they will pop up together because they was mentioned in the same paragraph. But it never said celery had amygdalin. It was just talking about amygdalin. Synthetic amygdalin is vitamin B17, which is Laetrile or Laetrile, and you can't take that with celery because celery actually have these glucoraphanase and these beta glucuronidase in it that will act, and if you mix it with citrics or lemons, it will convert the medicine over to cyanide. That's all it said. He took that and made it sound totally different. So we'll watch his one more time and then we'll move on. And I think I want to do some live calls. We got to figure out how we're going to do that, though. That way I can let him into the system and we can talk to him. So we'll play this dude one more time. Be careful, y'all. If he's not willing to be humble and come and correct himself, y'all should unfollow this character. He used misinformation as a loaded weapon at our people. That is worse than murder.
2 ingredients you should never mix in any juice and recipe.
You're going to do 1 stock of celery and a whole lemon with the skin.
The reason you should not juice celery and citrus is because celery has a compound in it called amygdalin, and when combined with citrus, it converts it into cyanide. Check this out. Foods that consist of amygdalin: nuts, raw almonds, carrots, apricots, peaches, celery, beans, flaxseed. Stay with me. As you see below, what increases the conversion of amygdalin to cyanide? Vitamin C, citrus. So what does cyanide do to the cells? Suffocate and deprive the cells of using oxygen. And what's the number 1 cause of cancer? Suffocation of cells. The only way these 2 ingredients are safe for consumption is if you cook it or make it in a meal. But when you juice the celery with the lime, that's like soaking it, and then that's when the acid in the citrus breaks down the amygdalin and convert it into cyanide. Information must be updated, family. Like this video, share them out.
And he got so many videos like that, y'all. That's just bullshit. He cutting out articles. He's making up lies about the articles. just miscommunication, misinformation, and just be careful out here, because he's not the only one. It's a bunch of people out here like that, y'all. So just be super, super careful, y'all. This is what this about. And just for those that don't know what Lee Trail look like, this is what it looks like, y'all. It was a medicine, a synthetic extract from ethanol alcohol. It is not talking about nothing about celery, and it's not talking about apricot seeds. It is talking about when you enhance and concentrate the compound of amygdalin in apricot seeds, it creates this medicine. And notice this is 500 milligrams of capsules. If you read the ingredients and the instructions, they want you to take 1,500 milligrams a capsule, which contains about, I think they said 30 milligrams of cyanide. 50 milligrams of cyanide could kill a small child. So that's why if you're taking this, you cannot be eating things that's going to have anything that's going to convert it over into cyanide. But it's not talking about eating natural foods. It's actually talking about taking highly concentrated medicine and then eating celery and stuff like that, which none of y'all is going through. I bet nobody on here is taking Leotrail. And if you is, just don't eat no celery. If you is, don't eat raw nuts. If you is, don't eat anything that have those conversions, and especially don't mix it with citric. That's what it was talking about. So, for and on the record, y'all, mixing your actual celery stocks with your lemons is A-OK. It is perfect. There is so many health benefits, especially from the celery. You getting all of the salts you need, especially from the ascorbic acid or the vitamin C, from the citric. It is actually opening up your cells. It is getting rid of and dissolving plaque and cholesterol. That is an amazing mix. It is very, 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 very good for you, and it's highly recommended. And for those that are finna come on here and say that celery is a hybrid, so in what? That don't mean that it's not organic. That don't mean that it's not alkaline. Celery is very highly alkaline. It actually have alkaline metallic salts in it. Matter of fact, each celery stick have alkaline metallic salts in them up to 80 milligrams per stalk. Very, very high in these sodium salts. And then, people will say, well, Dr. Sebi said that celery is bad because not only is a hybrid, which is nothing is wrong with a hybrid, but they say because Dr. Sebi, matter of fact, moment of silence for the great master teacher. I don't never want y'all to think I'm disrespecting him. Ashe. But they said that he said that it have inorganic salts. Mostly all the salts in your body is inorganic salts. There's only 5 organic salts in your body, or what you would call mineral salts. And when they call in biochemistry, if you took a biochemistry class, you can't call it organic if it goes through a chain reaction and then it loses the actual oxygen. I mean, not the oxygen, but you loses the carbon and the hydrogen molecule. Once it loses carbon and hydrogen, you can't call it organic anymore. So most of these inorganic salts are derived from organic material. And this organic material is what you would call hydrochloric acid. Once it goes through hydrochloric acid and it mixes with potassium, potassium will create a mineral salt. This potassium will then mix and fuse with Fe, which is iron or iron phosphate. And from there, you get an actual inorganic salt from an organic compound. Because once it goes through its cation and anion chain reactions, you start losing molecules. So if we're going to play that game, y'all, let's talk about oxygen. Do oxygen have a carbon and a hydrogen to it? No, it don't. So that means the very oxygen you breathe, it's not organic. So we can't play that game, y'all. We can't do that. Like, if we're going to really get into biochemistry, we got to really, really get into it. You are made of more inorganic salts and minerals in your body than you are made of organic salts and minerals in your body. And these are just flat out truths. 60% of the actual minerals in your body are inorganic. And half of them are in your liver and in your kidneys. You think I'm lying? This is simple Google trial scholarly articles. Look it up. I learned this in biochemistry class 8 years ago because I thought the same thing. I was very, 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 very deep into the Master Healer, the late, great Master Healer education. I really was, until I started going to school and we was in laboratories and we was creating chain reactions and stuff. I'm like, dang, okay. I see that it's not lining up. There's no offense to him. You know, there's no offense to him at all. I don't know. Maybe he was using different equipment than we was using. Maybe they did different methodologies. You know, maybe they did different clinicals, because you do have different experimental clinicals that you do. You know, I'm running around in the University State of Illinois. You know, so like, I don't know where he went and did all of his stuff at. We could probably had different outcomes, but what you're going to see is most of the salts that ends in like bromide. When you see that "ide" at the end of it, most of these are inorganic salts. Most of the actual salts that you get from your sea moss, most of the salts that you get from your actual sea creatures, I mean, not your sea creatures, but your sea plants, these are inorganic salts, even though it started off organically because it did have carbon and hydrogen attached to it. Once it became an acid and it fuses with different minerals, it become inorganic because you won't see the actual hydrogen and carbon there no more. That's why he always talked about the CHO arrangement, or the CHO, or the chi, which is this energy life force, because you can't call it a living, moving entity unless it have carbon and hydrogen connected to it. If it have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen connected to it, like a carbohydrate or a paracyclic hydroamines, these can be very... Look, polycyclic hydroamine, hydrocarbon, it's the most dangerous substance in the world. It kills thousands and thousands of people yearly. But this is our organic mineral, organic, that you create. It actually creates when you cook meat. The minerals from the meat goes through a conversion reaction. The conversion reactions actually passes over and keep hydrogen and keep carbon there, but yet and still it gives you throat cancer, lung cancer. It kills you. It's a book called, it's a book out right now by Dr. It's called A Million Ways to Die. No, How to Not Die. Let me give you this book real quick. He go deep in on this. How to Not Die. Polycyclic hydrocarbons. How to Not Die. Polycyclic hydrocarbons. Where is it at? Let me get this book for y'all. Make sure y'all download this book. This book will blow your mind. And he coming with all the scientific articles backing this stuff up. So usually most of the salts that are in your body are not organic salts. They are inorganic salts. And we have to realize what makes salts. What makes salts is electrolytes and minerals. When they fuse together and go through a cationic reaction to bring out anionic compounds, that's what actually strips it from all of the other elements, and then it becomes inorganic. So it started off with organic acids, but organic acids can actually strip, when it goes through its reaction process, it can strip it can strip carbon and hydrogen from its bond, and then it becomes inorganic, which is most of the salts in your body, most of the salts you eat, whether it's celery salt, whether it's sea salt, whether it's pink Himalaya salt. Once it goes through that process, it's not organic anymore, family. Hold on, let me find this book for y'all. I'm giving away all the books today. Here you go, right here. So the book is called, the book is called How to Not Die by Michael Greger, MD. This is the book right here, How to Not Die. I want y'all to look up his chapter on polycyclic hydrocarbons, which is a organic compound, by the way, because it comes from organic material, because you're cooking organic biological material called meat. And the salts and the actual aromatic hydrocarbons that's organic that come from there will kill you dead as a doorknob. So we can't go back and forth on whether it's an inorganic salt or organic salt, because we have organic salts that's bad for the body too. You see what I'm saying? So I just don't want y'all to get caught up in it's so many different philosophies on food. And I mean, the world is getting crazy with this information, y'all. I mean, I've been hearing some of the most craziest things in my life lately. So we just got to slow down and make sure that we're doing the studying ourselves. And there is nothing wrong with hybrided food. Negro, you are hybrided. You are a hybrid. You used to be way taller than what you are, your ancestral line, way taller than what you are. They have put an actual ticking time clock on your telomeres and DNA for you can die at the age of 80 and 60. You used to live to be 120. Before then, you lived to be 350. And before then, you lived to be 1,000 years. And then you transcended into another biological body. So they even put these stipulations on the DNA to stop you from living long, called telomeres on your DNA. If that's not hybriding something, I don't know what else to say. They even put a obedience gene inside your hippocampus to make you follow protocol, for you can have the God worship gene in you, for you can believe that in the God of the Bible, or believe in the God of the Quran, or believe in the God of this, and not believe in the Almighty Creator. You even have a worship gene put in you. Who put that there? If you not hybrided, who put the worship gene in you? Huh? Who put telomeres on the tip of your chromosomes to stop you from living forever? Who did that? Let's not talk about different blood types, and different protein markers on the blood types, OB, A negative, A positive. Who went in and sorted that out? If you're not hybrided, somebody been tinkering with your genes and DNA since you've been here. Since you've been here. But guess what? You are still our original organic being of the earth. You still have more carbon and melanin than any other species on the earth. So just because you're hybrided, or you've been selected to mate differently, because this is all a science experiment, whether we talking about the Anunnaki, whether we talking about Adam and Eve in a garden, which was a big old laboratory. We all talking about a science experiment where our genes was tinkered with. Every scientific article, every religion talk about this thing. So you are hybrid. So just because somebody took two organic alkaline substance and crossbreeded them to create something else don't mean, for one, that it's GMO. There's a difference between GMO and hybrid, a very big difference. And it doesn't mean that it's not alkaline. Celery is one of the most alkaline things you can eat. Same thing as broccoli is one of the most alkaline things you can eat. I did a whole lecture on broccoli. Glucoraphanase, sulforaphane, glucocyanades, all these things inside these things. So we talking about superfood. So we have to start studying and show ourselves approved. That's all I'm saying, y'all. And then you say that the lemon is a hybrid, and the lemon is one of the most alkaline substances on earth, and it's full of ascorbic acid, or what you'll call vitamin C. You know how many people that we done unclogged their arteries and we done healed their hearts by putting them on 3 to 4 lemon shots in the morning on an empty stomach? And I'm talking about without herbs. And you will see critical changes in their levels. So hold on. Hybrid lemon is out here healing people. Yes, it is. Hybrid celery is out here healing people. Yes, it is. What about the glucoraphanate? The sulforaphane in broccoli, this hybrided food that was hybrided by the Tuscan tribes in Italy, by the Moors. Black people did that. How it's actually cleansing chemotherapy out of the cells, opening up the NRF2 pathways and bringing out metabolic waste at a high level because it click on something called glutathione. These are hybrid foods. Let's talk about the watermelon. You haven't ate a watermelon that's not hybrid. You can't show me original watermelon. I don't care what watermelon you bring, even if it's organic, guess what? It's a hybrid watermelon, because you can't even eat the original watermelon because there wasn't any flesh inside of it. Wasn't any flesh inside of it, family. And it was bitter as hell. Bitter as hell. We talked about this. It come from the cucurbital family. This actually come from cucumbers. They selected and breeded cucumbers in a certain way where it created watermelons. These watermelons wasn't even edible until you got two people that came together and started crossbreeding and selecting these things, and then boom, now they made it sweet. You can't show me no original fruit. All of your original fruit is gone, but you have descendants or hybrids from those original fruits. Just like all of your original people is gone, but you have hybrids or what you would call descendants from those originals, or what we're going to call non-ether melanated beings, which is you and I. We still hybrid. I just need them to get the concept, Nabi, because we got to quit with these games. Everybody want to be smart. Everybody want to sound super intellectual. Don't know what they be talking about, man. And these are the truths. And look, like it or love it, man. I'm not here to make friends. I'm just here to tell y'all the truth. Hopefully you look up everything I said. And if you don't, shame on you. Look up everything I said. So this video was to just show y'all that was crazy nonsense dude was talking. He's out here using misinformation to swindle the people, to sell his book and to sell his herbs that look just like mine. If y'all go through his stuff, it's all bull crap. Just look at his articles he's posting and cropping out. He don't know what the hell he is talking about whatsoever. And I promise you that if you think I'm lying, go back now and open your eye and really read through what he's talking about. And he taking a lot of my information and other people's information, and he just putting a spin on top of it, trying to sound smart when he not. That's what it is. Do y'all got any questions so far? Any questions? Yeah, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button and make sure y'all share this. Facebook back up. All right, make sure y'all like this and share this. And if y'all got what I was saying so far, type in some 9s. If y'all got what I said, if y'all got any questions about my geogenetic juice, y'all can ask them. Why can't you juice cucumbers with the skin on it? Thank you for asking that. Hey, where did it go? They be asking questions so damn fast. Above average ant said, why can't you juice cucumbers with the skin on it? There's a bunch of nutritional factors inside of cucumber skin. But the reason why I don't want you to juice it with the skin on it is because all of the fiber that's in it, and it is full of these prebiotics, and these fibers are so thick, and what they do is they turn into super hydro I ain't gonna call it a hydrocarbon because that's what I've been talking about, but they turn into super sugars. They turn into super sugars, and it's very, very tough to break down. So just like you wouldn't eat a watermelon skin, just like you wouldn't eat a cantaloupe skin, just like you wouldn't eat, if you look at the actual cucumber, the cucumber is a part of the melon family. Like I was telling you, that watermelon come from the cucurbitacea family. So you wouldn't actually bite into a watermelon or bite into a cantaloupe or bite into a honeydew melon or bite into a billiam melon or bite into a papaya. So why bite directly into an actual cucumber? You see that? So it's not nothing wrong. It's actually it's a skin. The skin is the protective layer of the fruit. So it's a bunch of nutrients inside of it. You just got to break down that thick fiber inside of it first. And that fiber is a very, very thick sugar strand. If you look at it, it's damn near, when you look at it under the microscope, it look like hemp seed strands being sewed together. It's hard to really break and bust that down. And that's the only reason why, because I'm trying to flush you out. I don't need nothing slowing down that process. And then putrefaction sets in, overload or fermentation sets in. That's the only reason why. Now, if you're not detoxing, of course, you can, hey, wash it off real good. Make sure that you washing it off with your baking soda that don't have aluminum in it, your food grade hydrogen peroxide, and get you some sea salt and go to town on the skin too. But if you healing and you need to detox, it's certain things that I need to do to your digestive system so I can make sure that you are moving all of that toxemia and metabolic byproducts out of the digestive system, for we can actually get the Peyer's patches and get the iliac lymph nodes back online, for we can get those adrenals up, for we can really drain you systemically. When you actually start healing and you start taking on all of those hard fibers, it actually backs you up a lot. And that's the truth. And then you start feeding the microbiome too much, and then they start producing so much methane, and then you get bloatiness, you start getting gases and everything. So I just found it easier through my studies and just doing this on myself to actually skin my cucumbers first. And believe it or not, I learned to skin the cucumbers from Usha Village. That's where I learned that from in my eye. I noticed that they was all skinning the cucumbers, and I asked the question why. And then I started researching. I'm like, dang, okay, I see why that they skinned them when it's time to heal. They skin them off and just chop them up into little pieces because they don't need all of the fiber, because we're trying to flush the digestive system. That's all. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Not saying that cucumber skin is dangerous or nothing like that. Another person asks why you can't mix your melons with other fruits. I'm a realist. I mix my melons with other fruits. Scientifically, you can't, because it produces a bunch of alcohol. So if you have fatty liver, I wouldn't suggest it if you got fatty liver, but I mix my melon with other fruits all the time. See, I'm going to be real here. I'm gonna spit the truth, but I'm going to be 100 too. If you don't have fatty liver disease, cirrhosis of the liver, you don't have toenail fungus, you don't have ringworms, or you don't have a very, very bad parasitic infections, mixing your melons with your fruits won't kill you. Now, it can produce alcohol. You see what I'm saying? It does. So if you already have an alcoholic problem or a non-alcoholic alcoholic liver, then I wouldn't suggest you do it, because it does produce this alcohol very fast. Alcohol production is a natural occurrence in the body, y'all. It's what an enzyme called catalase. Your body produces natural alcohol. That's how it's able to get things into the cells. That's the reason why tinctures and extracts work so good, because you're putting herbal botanicals in the alcohol and you letting the alcohol break through the cellulose. Same thing. Now, remember I was talking about the cucumber skin? That's full of cellulose, which you call fiber. Cellulose is very, very hard to break down, especially by the hydrochloric acid in our stomachs. You see what I'm saying? But alcohol actually helps with that process, though. But, these things produces alcohol, then it opens the cells, and then that's how the body allows things in the cells. Even if you look at insulin reminds me of alcohol, the way it reacts in its physiology in the body. So that's all, y'all. Tomato, man. Like, I don't want to get into this situation where we saying there's a wrong and right way to heal. Dr. Sabi had healing testimonies. I can't knock them. It's too many people. And I ain't even talking about stuff that it's just too many people I didn't talk to that got healing testimonies, or their mama got healed from them. That's something you can't knock. That's a live testimony. I can't knock that. There's other people that have live testimonies. I can't knock that. As much as Victor, his son, hate me. I know people that been healed by him. I can't knock that. Truth is the truth, whether I like them or not. That's what I'm saying. I'm not knocking nobody. I'm knocking misinformation though. So what they say is many different ways to skin a cat. Well, I'm plant based, so I can't say I'm vegan because I like honey, but I can't say skin a cat because that's death of an animal. But there's many different ways to get a job done. Everybody got different methodologies of healing. Everybody got some type of way that they heal somebody, y'all. We have thousands of healing testimonies, and my ways are more closer to Dr. Morse than anybody's. You see what I'm saying? So I even have a person that I agree with a lot, more than a lot of people. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not here knocking nobody. Heal how you heal. Heal how you heal. Go at your own pace. Be steady. Just be true to what you believe in. My problem is when people get on here and deliberately put out misinformation because they trying to down somebody, knock somebody, sell a product, or get famous. That's a form of selling your soul. That is the most weakest shit any man can do. You are weak at that point. To purposely get on the airlines and to spew misinformation to your people on purpose, you are lower than a damn cockroach. You are lower than snail. You should be ashamed of yourself. People like that should live forever and don't even get the enjoyment of leaving and transitioning, because you are out here weaponizing information, and that is worse than a gun, because this infiltrate the minds of the people. You are no better than the Rockefellers at this point. You are no better than the education of school board of education at this point. You are no better than the so-called slave masters over us. You are no better than the ones that plucked our eyes out and said that if we got caught reading, because you are weaponizing information and you are lying about the information. Not saying that you did it because you was dead wrong and you thought it was that. No, you doing this on purpose to put somebody down? No, man, I've never seen nothing so weak in my life. And I just noticed within this last 2-3 years, what you say, Nabi, we've just been seeing a lot of so-called healers doing that, coming at me too. A lot of healers hate me, man. It's crazy. Hate me. I ain't never said nothing bad about nobody unless it was to their face or over the airways. I had to curse a Negro out. Other than that, you know what I'm saying? I ain't the type of person that throw rocks and hide my hands. I'm from the streets for real. We really was in the streets. So, I still handle business like that as men. We can meet up and we can throw them if we need to and hug when we done. Or you can just leave me the hell alone and stay out my way. But what you not going to do is you're not going to teach misinformation to our people. And that's another thing he said too. He said, yo people and my people. I said, what you mean, yo people and my people? This is our people. This ain't no clique. This ain't no set. These are melanated tribal beings here. We call ourselves healers. We are responsible for them. We are responsible for their health and the information that we're feeding their souls, their spirits, and their minds. What you mean, my people and your people? Like we got two different cliques. This ain't no different. And that's how I know the ideology is off with these up and coming healers. We are all responsible for each other, family. Ain't no my people and your people. Hey, ain't you melanated? Don't you look like me? Nose shaped like mine and everything. Negro, we might be family. Straight up, man. Yeah, it's crazy. But any more questions? Or navy beans good? Navy beans have a bunch of minerals in them. Navy beans have a bunch of nutrients in them, but navy beans are full of phytic acid, and navy beans are known, and you can look this stuff up. Navy beans are known to stop uptake of iron phosphate. So navy beans do have nutrients in them, but navy beans wouldn't be beans to humans. Now, if I'm somewhere stranded on an island and I'm prepping and doomsday prepping and I need something to preserve my food and the grid get cut off, hey, and I got some navy beans in the cabinet because I know you can preserve them and I need to live long to make sure that my family is protected and I need to wait out the storm, guess what I'm eating, y'all? I'm eating some navy beans. I get shot right now. I'm not going to, Nabi, go get me the herbs. No, Nabi, take me to the emergency room. In fact, call the ambulance. That's what I'm saying. I'm not extremist. Not extremist, y'all. But I am going to tell the truth. So is navy beans healthy for you? As far as my study is, no, they not. Do they have a bunch of phytonutrients in it? Yes, they do. But is that phytonutrients from human beings? That's not my study or what I came to find. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to Elijah Muhammad. Moment of silence to him. He did a lot of work. You know, every human have mishaps. Every human mess up in their life. Every human do some shit they ain't proud of. We human. We learn and we grow from it. But I can't knock what he have built and what he put together. So moment of silence for him. I'm not knocking nobody. Ashe. But according to the information, Navy beans is bad. I don't promote nobody eating Navy beans. But this is the same person that if we were starving and there wasn't nothing else to eat, guess what I'm eating? Navy beans. What about you, Nabi? You gonna eat them Navy beans too? That's all we got left. Shoot. It is what it is. So yeah. What else we got? How is the forum looking? The forum is looking amazing. We actually meeting up at the forum tomorrow. We meet up at the forum tomorrow. IBS, irritable bowel syndrome. What we've been noticing with irritable bowel syndrome and Crohn's disease is the gut microbiome or the gut microbiota is off. So what we do with people like that is we either we can't put people like that on, because you can get SIBO from that too, SIBO. So we don't put you on very, very heavy fruit diets because we need the gut microbiome to balance itself out. So what we do is we start introducing you to more fermented foods and a bunch of water and then herbs to kill parasites and microorganisms, pleomorphic bacteria and things like that. And we notice that people come back from that. So usually when we dealing with SIBO or we dealing with Crohn's disease or we dealing with irritable bowel syndrome, and irritable bowel syndrome can come from actually come from your 10th cranial nerve too, your vagus nerve being too relaxed. You know, it's a bunch of different things that come into play when you're dealing with IBS. So what we usually do is we usually do consultations and we go over everything. And then once we rule out and see what it is, that's how we go forth with how we going to get rid of it. But I'm doing the courses now. The courses is 16. We're going over 16 so-called diseases extensively, y'all. We're going over the anatomy of it, the physiology of it, the behavior of it, the autonomy of it, down to the molecular structure, point A, B to C, telling y'all what the disease is, what the allopathic community call the disease, what I call the disease is, and how to get rid of it. It's 16 courses. It comes with a webinar. The webinar is amazing. With the webinar come 5 courses. And after them 5 courses, you can actually buy the actual real course. So it's crazy. And a book dropping with it. So, you know, what I'm trying to do is, because I'm refunding thousands and thousands of consultations, y'all. I just don't have time to do them. There's not enough time in a day. So what I'm trying to do is record all of these courses and these classes and these videos. That way you ain't even got to book a consultation to talk to me. All you got to do is get the webinar, or go on Yahki YouTube channel, or go on YahkiTV.com, YahkiTV.com, and just, you can type in your so-called sickness, and then you can watch the video, and then you can go to the website to buy, or you can make the herbs yourself, because I'm trying to teach you how to be your own herbalist, or you can shop somewhere else. It don't matter to me. It's just about healing the people, y'all. That's it. Why do we peel the garlic? I'm very, very careful with garlic. Black garlic is cool, but garlic is very, very, very acidic, family. It will burn holes, and it will burn through the mucous membrane layer lining of your stomach, and it can give you leaky gut. So just be careful with the garlic. But on the flip side, garlic is very healing. You see what I'm saying? You have to know when to yield. You have to know when to roll. You have to know when to fold. You have to know when to use certain, medicinal foods and medicinal herbs. And you got to know when not to give it to them. You see what I'm saying? A person with a ringworm, I will not put them on an all-fruit diet. You got toenail fungus, I'm going to be careful now. And I think that's why it took me 120 days to actually heal, because I was on all-fruit juice. But I had a bunch of parasites and a bunch of ringworms, a bunch of fungus. I had dandruff in my head. My toenails and my fingernails was black. So I was feeding the Candida albicans because I was eating high fructose sugars. So it's certain things that you can't do. You see what I'm saying? Like, for instance, if you have a pancreatic disease, I'm doing everything in my life to make sure that you're on all alkaline foods, no cooked foods at all. Why? Because you need to produce certain types of enzymic reactions by the pancreas to make sure that you are keeping your alkaline sustainability up. But if the pancreas down, then you're not producing these different alkaline agents that's going to alkaline your foods when it's going through the duodenum to make it into the small intestines, to the large intestines, for you can poop it out. You see what I'm saying? So it's certain things that you have to implement and know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. A person that got diabetes, I would never recommend that you juice grapes. Do not juice grapes if you're diabetic. Because when you juice grapes and you actually take the actual peel off and you remove the tannins of the grapes, the sugar, glucose, and fructose rate, because all fruits have glucose and fructose. It's just some fruits have more fructose than glucose, and them the ones that I'm going to give to a diabetic patient. I'm not going to give you a fruit to have more glucose than fructose. It's always more fructose than glucose. But when you actually juice the grapes, the sugar content goes up by 180%. So I'm not going to tell you to juice grapes. I'm not going to tell you that. You're a diabetic. That's going to raise your blood sugar and keep it raised. You might go into a diabetic coma. So it's an art to healing, family. You got to know what to implement or not. And you can never do that unless you start clinical trials. You have to start testing on yourself, testing on your families, sign some NDAs and test on people that will allow you to test on them. You know what I'm saying? You got to get out there and do the work, family. You just can't be on Google, becoming a scholar in Google and spreading misinformation like you know what you're talking about, or listening to another teacher and regurgitating what they said. Don't regurgitate me. Look up my info first. You see that? And what's crazy is y'all are mad at me because I don't agree with everything Dr. Layla Africa said. That was one of my personal teachers in the flesh. Y'all mad at me because I don't agree with everything Dr. Moore say, when I agree with him the most out of everybody. Y'all mad at me because I don't agree with everything Dr. Sebi taught. Why do I have to agree with everybody when I have my own methodologies and I've been to school and I've been in my own clinic? I didn't see my own outcomes doing different things. That is okay. That don't mean we got to hate each other or we got to create these elitist groups and be separate from each other. That don't mean that at all. I'm different. I'm my own man. I'm my own man. I don't need to be in a clique and running around with nobody. I stand on my own 10 and I always been that way. I have my own mind. I'm a critical thinker myself and I don't give a damn. I'm going to say the truth. And if I see that it's off and it don't line up, I'm going to get on here on the airways and I'm going to yell it to the rooftops because I am here to warn y'all to wake up and to heal y'all minds, y'all bodies and souls. And if you mad at me for doing that, oh well, you know what I'm saying? That don't mean I'm hating on nobody. I just want to see y'all healthy. I want to see y'all do better. That's it. What help with PCOS? All you got to do, James Roberts, is go on my YouTube and type in Yahki Awaken PCOS. I did an extensive course on PCOS. I mean, extensive course. Ashley Williams, Goiters. First thing you need to do is be eating any goitrogen-forming foods. Again, it's another prime example. If you have a goiter and your thyroid is down, I do not recommend you eat anything from the Brassica cruciferous family. I love broccoli. I love broccoli to life, y'all. I love it. One of the most amazing hybrided superfoods on this earth. Very alkaline. But if you got a goiter, I tell you to stay away from broccoli. Stay away from Brussels sprouts. Stay away from all these different cruciferous plants or brassica plants because they have something called goitrogens in them. And these goitrogens will grow the actual goiter bigger. So that's the first thing I tell you to do. Get off all goitrogen forming foods. That's soy, that's tofu, that's seitan, that's broccoli, that's Brussels sprouts, that's cauliflower, that's kale, all of those. You cannot have any of those. Then you have to realize what's going on with you. You're probably not producing any type of iodine. And if you're not, iodide from iodine. So you probably have an iodine deficiency. So then I start putting you on iodine, natural herbs, holistic herbs from the sea. And you can you need to talk about thyroid globulin protein. I'm going to have to get those things for you too, like from your sweet potatoes. And then what we do is we come up with a whole plan. We write everything down. I give it to you. And then I give you a geogenetic therapeutic package. 3 to 4 months later, you're either going to see a significant decrease in the size of the goiter, or you're going to see that goiter is not hard no more. Now, what takes the longest to get rid of the goiter is when it becomes calcified or solidified. And that's because calcium then came, because what actually helped produce calcium is the parathyroid and the thyroid. It's called calcitonin by the parathyroid. So calcium tends to go there and it sets up inside that mucus, and then that mucus mixes with that calcium and then it solidifies, and then that goiter become hard as a rock. Now we got to hydrate to break up that that stagnation. And usually people that's finna form a goiter or thyroid is finna go down, there's warning signs that happen years before. You're constantly coughing up mucus. You're constantly spitting up mucus. You wake up with mucus in your throat. You're talking, you got to clear your throat. You always got to spit. That shows you have a bunch of mucus built up in the throat because you have a bunch of acids there. Wherever there's acids, there's going to be mucus. Wherever there's mucus and acids, there's going to be calcium. All these things put together is called solidification. But usually we do the geogenetic therapeutic package level 3, but I really don't want to recommend you nothing until I see your paperwork or you look at your paperwork yourself. And that's why we want to teach you how to read your own blood work. You need a very extensive thyroid chart. I need to see your T3, your T4, your free T3, your free T4, your TSH, your thyroid stimulating hormone, your pituitary hormones. See that? We need to see all of that to really see what you got. Is it Hashimoto's? Is it Graves' disease? Like what type of thyroid issue do you really got? And is you utilizing aldehyde? Not aldyne, but aldehyde, because once aldyne goes into the follicular fluids of the thyroid cells and then it merges with thyroglobulin, it goes through a cationic reaction that changes aldyne into aldehyde. And then aldehyde is what's being used by the cells in the body or for your metabolism. A large spleen. A large spleen just means your lymphatic system is backed up interstitially. The spleen is one of the biggest, for real. The spleen, I wouldn't say the biggest organs that's connected to the lymphatic system, but the spleen is most definitely one of the biggest working organs that's connected to the lymphatic system. The spleen and a couple other lymph nodes is the only place in the body where blood and lymphatic fluid exchanges waste from. So the blood cleanses itself into the lymphatic system. I tell y'all this all the time. The blood feeds the cells of the body. The nervous system commands and communicates with the cells of the body. And then you have the lymphatic system, which cleanses the cells of the body. When you actually look at the spleen is one of the only places other than two more places where the blood and the lymphatic fluids meets up with each other and start exchanging. Well, the blood will get rid of all this metabolic waste because the blood have to stay in a potential hydrogen of 7.45 to 7.43 to 7.46. That's the range for real. But it's really resting at a 7.45. So when the blood pH starts to change itself off, what it does is it goes through the kidneys and it goes through the spleen. Both kidneys and the spleens is these three places I'm talking about. And what it does is it makes an exchange where it dumps off all the toxins into the lymphatic system. And then the lymphatic system takes these toxemias to something called lymph nodes. And inside the lymph nodes, you have a bunch of macrophages and bacteria that help disintegrate this waste to get it out through the nephrons. And then you urinate this metabolic waste out. And then the lymphatic system is actually giving the blood, more lipids. Not only is it giving the blood more lipids, but it's giving the blood more sugars. It's giving the blood all types of different types of protective agents. So it's a beautiful exchange that happened with the spleen. So when the spleen is messed up or the spleen is enlarged, that means you have a filtration problem, and usually you backed up in a hepatic duct. So you need to check your liver. It might be your hepatic duct that's blocked, or it could be the nephrons of your kidneys. So you wouldn't go after the spleen. You would go after the actual hepatic ducts, which is the liver. You would clean to get that bowel moving again, to turn on glucoraphanase and the NRF2 pathways, and then you would go on not glucoraphanase. But glutathione, my bad about that, y'all. Glutathione and turn on these NR2 pathways, or you can go metabolic pathways towards the kidneys and cleanse them out. So you can cleanse your kidneys out with parsley. The geogenetic juice is a kidney drink, y'all. But parsley is very, very good because it opens up the nephrons. What else you got? You have hydrangea root, which is going to break up any kidney stones or kidney calcification. Hydrangea root is very, very good for that. Perdiarco is going to get rid of any microorganisms, pleomorphic bacteria that's not supposed to be in the kidneys. That's very good for that. Another thing that's actually good for the pancreas, though, is pineapple. Pineapple is amazing. Don't eat too much of it because it's very, very citric and it can burn your tongue. But you got pineapple and you got papaya. They got papain in it, and this stuff is good because it act like a enzymic like mineral to the actual pancreas. So that's what I would do. I go on an all fruit diet, but I make sure that these fruits is high in citric and these fruits are not high in sweet on the sweet side. So you would do sub-sweet fruits and you would do citric fruits. That's what I would do. And I take them herbs for the kidneys that I was talking about, the hydrangea root with the parsleys and the cleaver's leaf. These are very, very good for the kidneys. I would drink 3 8-ounce glasses of that a day and do all equal parts. And then as far as the pancreas, you can get those enzymes back by, again, the papaya is very good with papain and the actual bromelain inside of the pineapple would be good for the pancreas. That's what I would do. And I'll start from there. And then you will see once you start alkalining the body, most of the inflammation leaves anyway. We only dealing with one side of chemistry, y'all, and that's the acidic side. When you deal with acids or you come into contact with acids, you have to pay. Your body pays by turning on the mucosa membrane. The mucosa membrane starts producing more mucus. The overproduction of this mucus, because you don't fast or detox properly, will bring on more mucus. This is going to trip the thyroid. The thyroid is going to tell the parathyroid to holler at the bone calcium matrix. The bone calcium matrix will be used by calcitonin to raise up the calcium. The calcium will then be released into the bloodstream. The bloodstream is going to take the calcium to the site that has the inflammation, and then it's going to mix calcium with mucus and with acids. That is called crystallization, solidification, or calcification. And that's when we have a problem, because that brings the body or the cells into a degenerative state. Dandruff. Dandruff is nothing but fungus. All dandruff is fungus. If you have dandruff, you have parasites. Now, there is a difference between dandruff and dead skin cells on the top of your head. It's a very, very different. If you got dead skin cells on top of your head, you might be dehydrated. So try to hydrate first. But if you hydrating and you know that you hydrating and you getting the balance of your water and potassium and salt ratio back to a balance of homeostasis, and you still see dandruff, then you are dealing with a parasitic. And you need to do a parasite cleanse. I have an amazing parasite cleanse on my website. But if you want herbs, organic cloves, not dried out, whole live cloves, organic, amazing. Wormwood, make sure you get wormwood. Greater wormwood is amazing. Green walnut hull, not the black walnut hull. When it's in its green state, we got about 20 green walnut hull trees on the land, y'all. Man, it's crazy. So, I'm gonna be harvesting my own green walnut hulls this year. But these things are good. You can soak these. What we found out is with the wormwood, soak it in cold water. Do not soak it in hot water. You actually activate most of the healing constituents and the healing compounds when you soak it in cold water. Then you'll let it warm up to room temperature. Then you drink it down, other than actually putting it in a high degree Fahrenheit. You actually destroy it when you put it in a high degree Fahrenheit. So make sure with the wormwood, you soak it. Now, if you mixing the wormwood with other herbs, it's cool because the other herbs will support it when it's getting boiled, but only boil it for 2 minutes and then turn it for your lowest setting and just let it simmer. Let it simmer. And then the other herbs will help that herb, keep its enhancements. But that's what I'll do for that. So parasite cleanse. Yes, the cloves is very, very good for the microorganisms, and it's good for the larvae. Then when you get into the green walnut hulls, them extracted is very, very good before it even in its granule stage. When it's in its granule stage, the good thing about the green walnut hull extract, it can get down to there. And then when you talking about them big boys like the Fasculovskis, Booskis, the fluke worms, the hook worms, you talking about them big suckers, hey, wormwood will beat the brakes off of them. And then how you draw they little asses out because they think they smarter than you and they not, you introduce a little cinnamon powder to it. For some reason, cinnamon bring them out. So get you some fresh cinnamon sticks, ground it up or put it in your tea and drink that with your stuff. The cinnamon going to bring them out. And when the cinnamon bring them out, boom, you got the clove oils there. You got the live clove. Boom, you got the wormwood there. You know what I'm saying? Boom, you got the green walnut hull. Boom, you got the Purdy Arco because Purdy Arco is good too. So you got to draw them out first. It's what we do with a lot of our herpes clients. Yeah, y'all. I'm finna get up out of here, y'all. I'm gonna go live again. I had a bunch of questions that I wanted to answer. So we'll get to it probably, what's today, Friday? I ain't gonna need a lock. It'll be a lock, 'cause we finna go out of town. Man, I'm just so busy, y'all. Matter of fact, what I'm gonna take the questions with me, and we'll do it sometime at the beginning of the next week, no matter where I'm at. That's what we'll do. And we'll answer some questions, y'all. But I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. I hope y'all got some understanding, some overstanding, and some understanding. Where can you get my book? My book is not out just yet. I promise y'all it will be ready before the summer, y'all. I'm telling y'all, we almost done. Ain't I been working super hard on this book? It's one of the best books in history. I'm standing on it. I don't know nothing that's going to come close to it, to be honest with you, and I'm not bragging. I'm just being real. The ideology I came from, the perspective, just all of my years of experience. It's just crazy, y'all. And then the course matches the book, y'all. The course matches the book. So it's amazing, man. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Quit letting people get over on y'all. Look, be confident and study to show thyself approved. Just quit letting people tell y'all shit. Study it. Look it up. Do comparative studies. And if you got to, pay that money. That way you can buy them articles that they don't want you to read. You can buy them. You can actually get on a subscription plan and buy those articles. And it'll tell you. And I wanted to show y'all something, y'all. Check this out. Before we actually leave, let me show y'all this. Because this what he did. I wanted to show y'all this real quick. When we go back to this, right? What's crazy is when you read this article, where is it? Where is it at? Boom, 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 boom. Part of the program, treatments, no evidence. It was actually a link here that took you to the studies they was actually talking about. Is this it right here? Let's see. Let's see if this is it. Where is it at? Hold on, I'm going to let y'all find it. Find the article. But look, it's an article in this article. It's a little link that if you click on it, if you actually click on the link, it'll take you to all the articles. And it was talking about a 78-year-old woman that took the medicine and then she ate something what she wasn't supposed to eat and show how she got cyanide poisoning. It talked about a 46-year-old man. So it actually goes through the different articles that the article was referencing. So this whole article that he went through was actually referencing other articles that he never even read. And if he read them, he would have never did the video in the first place. He probably would have just did another video about me. It's a, yeah, you seen that interview on 85 South Show? You talking about my interview? That's crazy. What about the Dame Dash interview? Yeah, that interview was very, 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 very different. I say that. Shouts out to Dame Dash. Yeah, that was different. That was my first time I wasn't able to talk, so it was kind of, yeah, that was weird. But hey, shouts out to the legend Dame Dash. That's all I gotta say. Y'all taking up for me a lot in the comments. He didn't let me speak. I tried to get my point across. I couldn't, but I was real patient with the brother. We know he done been through a lot. He done been through a lot, and he going through a lot. So, I remained patient. I remained the God and the king that I was, and it turned out, it was meant for what it was meant for. The people that was there got their questions answered. You know what I'm saying? What I've been trying to do is, even if I don't understand somebody's journey and path or their vision, if they have good intentions, I try to see it through. And I know that his intentions was good. Dame is Dame. His intentions was good, though. I wouldn't have linked up with him if it wasn't. So forgive me, y'all, that the interview couldn't get out like it needed to because he wouldn't let me talk. But in the middle of the video, he did get up and leave, didn't he? He kept coming back, but he got off to let me try to explain myself. But shouts out to Dame. That's all I'm going to say. Shouts out to Dame. What this person just said. Hey, hold on. All right, y'all. Look, make sure y'all subscribe to my YouTube. I'll be live again in a couple days. I love y'all. Peace, love, light, and healing. Peace to the gods. Peace to the earth. Check out that article. I shared it with y'all. It's called medicalnewstoday.com/article/B17-vitamin, and look it up. Read it for yourself. All right, peace, family. All right.